Well, Aberdeen may well have taken some encouragement from that fine Norwich performance in Munich, for the Dons faced an equally difficult task tonight in the second round of the Cup Winners' Cup. Italian clubs, not surprisingly, have been dominant in Europe of late, so Aberdeen were under no illusions when they ran out to face Torino in the same stadium where Scotland lost to Brazil in the 1990 World Cup. The commentator is Jock Brown.
So confirmation of the Aberdeen side. One change only from the team which played against Kilmarnock on Saturday. Robert Connor wearing number 10 in place of Duncan Shearer, and that clearly is a tactical move by Willie Miller. So the smoke in the stadium making life very difficult for all spectators. That coming from the firecrackers which were set off before the match started. Confirmation there of the Torino side with Carboni wearing number 10 and Aguilera then relegated to the bench. So it's virtually impossible to follow events here as Theo Snelders gets his first touch of the ball. Kimmy lays it short for Kane and makes the run forward. He was held on the way. It was Sergio who committed the free kick there, or gave the free kick away with that little bit of holding. So Aberdeen had the chance for the first time to send Brian Irvine forward for the set piece. Kane flights it in looking for Paatelainen. That's a fine effort and a goal for Aberdeen. A brilliant opening for Aberdeen. 8 minutes gone and Mixu Paatelainen gives them a precious lead. The goal coming about very simply. It was a very good free kick fired in there by Paul Kane. Paatelainen wasn't picked up, and that very accurate header left goalkeeper Galley rooted to the spot. Well, it's the perfect start for Aberdeen. The whipped in free kick, Paatelainen off his mark to Gregucci, and Galley had no answer. McLeish going up for that, and the bandages were in position at the start of the match. A training injury being protected there. The ball was out of play. That'll be a throw to Aberdeen. Well, Noni not looking too happy, nor does Musi. Paatelainen causing problems again for Gregucci. The clearance came from Fusi. Grant to Connor. And Aberdeen will be happy to have the ball deep inside the Torino half. The longer they can settle on this lead, the better they'll like it, I'm sure. They certainly created a problem for Torino with this start. Here's McLeish again. Paatelainen up there with Annoni. Played forward by Sergio. Irvine, bundled there by Silenzi. There's no free kick. This is Carboni. Shooting chances on. And Aberdeen living dangerously there. McLeish making a tackle on Francescoli. And he's on the ground as Carboni comes forward here. It's a very poor shot by his standards. Miller not happy. So the Aberdeen system so far, very effective indeed. The back four, McKimmie, Irvine, McLeish and Smith. Across the middle, Kane, Grant, Richardson and Connor. Jess with Paatelainen up front. Strikers working very hard and backtracking willingly whenever they have to. Here's Carboni for Torino. A chance on here, Snelders comes to collect. Still a chance on, Silenzi. And it's scrambled clear in the end. Snelders did well for Aberdeen. And they survived yet another Torino onslaught. Counter-attack on. Paatelainen appeared to be rugby tackled there by Gregucci, and that was a view taken by the Czech referee. So Aberdeen have a free kick. Giovanni Galli organising his defence. Mindful, no doubt, of the last free kick when Aberdeen took the lead. Connor looking for Irvine. That's a good header. And Sergio forced to clear. Fine commanding header that inside the area from Brian Irvine. Venturing is surely not 10 yards away. Connor's flighted cross. Good headed clearance that time by Gregucci. Now Richardson telegraphed that move to Carboni, who read it very well indeed. Clearance though goes straight to Gary Smith from Fortunato. Paatelainen takes the header down there from Jess. Richardson again. Now Grant. Jess was fouled by Annoni. Stood up well to the challenge, Ian Jess. Retained possession very effectively, but Aberdeen have the free kick. Paul Kane, number 4, over the ball. Robert Connor coming across to have a chat. And both Paatelainen and Redburn made the same run there, both going toward the near post. A misunderstanding. Here was the chance where Snelders was in trouble. Francescoli going through. It's back there with Silenzi. And the Aberdeen defence at 6s and 7s, but eventually hooking the ball clear through McKimmie. Smith to Grant. McKimmie forward. This is Kane. Paatelainen followed by Gregucci. Good running by McKimmie. Kane well forward. Now Grant. Good play again from Aberdeen. Kane makes a fine angle. Here's Grant again. The run made willingly again by Paatelainen, followed by Gregucci. That's good play by Paatelainen. The cross is set up for the second. It's scored by Ian Jess. Magnificent play from Aberdeen, and they're 2 ahead in 24 minutes. Superb play to make the goal by Mixu Paatelainen. These Aberdeen supporters jubilant. They couldn't have believed this. Paatelainen shrugging off Gregucci, playing over a delightful cross, and Jess was there accurately, leaving Gali again exposed. Fine play by Paatelainen. There's Ian Jess, and once again the Torino defence was ripped wide open. Sergio out on the left, checking inside Kane, then going outside for a very good cross, and Irvin did well. Could so easily have been sliced into the net, but Irvin determined to make sure he made a solid contact there. Happy to concede this corner kick. It was fine play by Sergio out there on the left. Carboni has been well looked after so far. The corner count is one aspect of the match, but the important statistic is the goal scoring. Aberdeen with 2. Corner kicks full of variety from Torino. Venturin has that one charged down, and if the pass had reached Jess from Richardson, Fusi would have been exposed in a 1-to-1. Annoni playing it long, and the flag is up against Carboni over on the far side. It's a free kick to Aberdeen. So McKimmie surveying the scene ahead, looking for Paatelainen. Gregucci trying to get his measure. Paatelainen's lost his boot as Torino try to come forward again. Richardson got to the ball, but set it up on the left there for Sergio. Kane trying to make life difficult. Good change of pace by Sergio. And Smith was there with a clearing header in front of Silenzi. Still a problem though for Aberdeen. Here's Venturin. Well, not giving any problem there for Theo Snelders in goal. Giorgio Venturin had time here. Played that with the right foot. Snelders will accept these all day. Fusi lofts it forward. Up goes Irvin. He's been penalised. Leaning in there on Silenzi. It was very difficult to mark these high balls, and Irvin and McLeish have really performed extremely well so far in the match against the giant striker. Played short for Annoni. That was deflected. It'll be a corner kick to Torino. Once again, Aberdeen pulled back every player into the penalty box. Corner kick count showing Torino with a lot of these, but still no product of all that effort. Here's Sergio though, racing into the penalty area. Chance on here. It's a goal for Torino. Right on the half-time whistle. Sergio brings the Torino fans to life. And I wonder if Aberdeen were caught out there. A lapse in concentration. Look at the space here for Sergio, driving inside McKimmie. No one getting across quickly enough. That was crisply struck. Snelders will be unhappy to be beaten at the near post. But it was a very firmly struck shot. And Torino have reduced the deficit right on half-time. Still got his head to that. Couldn't direct it accurately though. And Connor sends it back to Snelders. The half-time whistle is gone. Well, until that dramatic goal scored by Raffaele Sergio 2 minutes into injury time, this would have to be rated as one of Aberdeen's finest performances ever in Europe. It's still been a marvellous first half performance. It's Torino 1, Aberdeen 2. They start the match with no change in their side. We have in reserve Duncan Shearer, David Winnie, Stephen Wright, Scott Booth and the goalkeeper Michael Watt. But I'm sure Willie Miller would like to leave things well alone at this stage at least, because the side by and large has handled things extremely well, but under a great deal of pressure. But you would expect that at this level. Conceded that goal just on half-time. So the first 10 minutes or so of this second half will be even more crucial than usual. Torino will be looking to have the springboard here for a second half performance to get them right back in this tie. Aberdeen will be digging in, you can be sure. Back with Venturin. Richardson is the man closing him down. Here's Aguilera. Venturin again, the playmaker in midfield. Silenci's come off his marker. Musi. Anoni is well forward this time. That's for Silenci. Irvin makes the tackle. That's a fine tackle by Irvin. Winning the ball cleanly there despite the howls from the Torino fans. No question of that being illegal. Here's Venturin again. And in goes Irvin once more. Very accurate tackling by Irvin. Everyone back now except Paatelainen for Aberdeen. Francescoli turning away from Grant. Musi. Gary Smith did well, so did Kane. But Aberdeen very much under the cosh at this stage in the game, clinging to this 2-1 lead. Sergio with a cross. Silenci going for that. Chances on, and it's a goal for Torino. Daniele Fortunato. The start to the second half, Aberdeen were so anxious to avoid. It came when the initial chance to Silenci resulted in this collision inside the area. Two players going for the ball. It broke for Fortunato. Snelders unsighted, I think. And now Torino are back in level terms. A fine outswinging cross that by Sergio. Silenci was there. It broke so kindly for Fortunato. And it's now 2 apiece. Paatelainen has been fouled by Gregucci. Free kick to Aberdeen. They've used these very well in the match so far. Fusi interfering, preventing the free kick being taken quickly. Kane making some angle on the right. Irvin's in the area. That's for Irvin. The header down finds Jess. An opportunity without doubt for Aberdeen. Jess is unhappy with himself. It's a good set piece, this. Flighted well by Irvin into the area for Jess. Jess to Richardson. That's for Connor. Musi is very quick indeed. This is Fusi. Musi still available on the right. Back to his skipper. Fusi looking for Silenci. Evans with him. Francescoli towards Silenci. Still Francescoli. Dramatic dive on the way through. The referee's not deceived. There was certainly no foul in that. You see Francescoli here continuing the run, playing the ball there beyond Irvine and then going down without any impact by an Aberdeen player. Sergio lofts it forward. Always open though now to Willie Miller to work another flanker here on Torino, because he has Scott Booth available. Anoni didn't play it back to Gally. Gally's giving him a lot of stick there. Still composed enough to find Fusi, but in the event that Willie Miller sought to bring on Scott Booth in attack, then there would be no way in which Torino could respond by means of substitution, because they've committed both their men. Kind of tactical sparring going on all the time at this level of football. And Salensi beaten to the ball there by Gary Smith. Done by Francescoli. There's Ossio looking for Aguilera. He's very sharp indeed. A let-off without question for Aberdeen. Little Carlos Aguilera stealing into the box there. Getting the end of that header from Ossio. He's behind McLeish. Irvine putting him under pressure, and that's why he couldn't get time to settle the shot. Mondonico, the Torino manager, out with instructions again. No question of Torino being happy with a 2-all scoreline at the end. That's what it is right now, but Francescoli might change that. Good play by Francescoli, pulling back the cross. There's Salensi! Brilliantly saved by Theo Snelders. Dragged to safety by Smith. And Aberdeen almost punished there for some slackness in defence. Paul Kane will be relieved there. Back to Venturin. Great play by McLeish. Now Fusi lashing the ball forward. Fortunato beaten to the ball by McKimmie. This is Sergio, tackled by Stephen Wright. Ossio making a lot of that, and the referee not deceived. Here's Richardson holding the play up, waiting for support. He gets it from Brian Grant. Here was the move when Torino could so easily have gone ahead. Francescoli doing brilliantly. They're getting to the byline. Salensi hitting us a tremendous power. Snelder stood up, did so well. Well, the clock there showing we're past the 90-minute mark. It doesn't agree with this stopwatch in the commentary position. It says there are 2 minutes left. And Torino once again have a free kick. Possession count going further and further towards Torino. Snelder's looking on anxiously here as the wall is lined up. Here's Aguilera. He's made it! An Aguilera special for Torino. And Aberdeen go behind for the first time in the match with less than 2 minutes left. A brilliant free kick by Carlos Aguilera, right at the death. And it's disappointment here for Aberdeen. Well, let's see this from behind the goal. The wall covering a near post area. Snelder, you see, going off balance to his left as the ball goes into his right. He obviously saw that late. It was a great free kick by the little Uruguayan international. Over the wall, round behind, and Snelders couldn't get there. Torino now lead by 3 goals to 2. We're inside the final minute of the 90.
And that's how it finished, 3-2 to Torino. A heartbreaking end to a match which had begun so promisingly for Aberdeen. So how did manager Willie Miller react to it all? He spoke to Jock Brown.
Willie, what's your reaction to that performance?
Well, a great first half performance. We were under a caution the second half. The goals we lost were hard to bear at times. You know, the first one in particular. In the second half, they did have a lot of pressure. We weathered it reasonably well. To lose the final goal from a deflected free kick, again, a bit hard to bear, but that's football for you.
That first 40 minutes, let's say, did that rate highly for you as a Scottish performance away from home?
Yeah, I think you're probably talking about 46 minutes. I think the goal was scored something like 47, 48 minutes, you know, 2-3 minutes into injury time. It was a great performance. You know, we passed the ball, we were comfortable, we were confident. We scored 2 goals. Perhaps you get a wee bit of reaction from that in the second half, where maybe we just didn't have the real belief to go for the third. But I think you've got to hand it to them. They are a quality side with a lot of good players, and they did throw caution to the wind in the second half. They come back, they get the 3 goals. We're still in it, but we've got a real good chance. We take them to Paatelainen, a 1-goal deficit with 2 away goals, so it's going to be a cracker of a game.
We look forward to it. Thanks very much.
Billy, you can almost understand Willie doesn't know how to react. He'd have taken 3-2 before it started, but he's
certainly
disappointed not to have held on for more.
No, that's right. I think it was more disappointing losing the goal right on half-time.
Sure.
Because that was possibly the only time they were a bit careless and a bit casual in the whole of the first half. They played so very, very well, nice and composed at the back and efficient up front, and you know, some good play, got them the goals, and all of a sudden they toss one away right on half-time when they should be in the dressing room saying, look, we're doing well here, let's keep it going.
Yeah, it's the classic sucker punch, isn't it? I mean, as Willie himself said, it was 48 minutes when the goal came. Let's take a look at the goals then, in fact, beginning with, again, just like Celtic, 9 minutes coincidentally. Great start and a very good header, this, wasn't it?
It's a tremendous header because, he's not actually facing the goals, but he gets his head right behind it and directs it in that top corner. The goalkeeper really hasn't got a hope.
Touch of the Dennis Laws about it almost.
That's right, a lovely goal. Nice flighty free kick again. But, Paatelainen had caused him lots of problems all through his period in the game, and he does very, very well here. He holds off the challenge of the defender, turns round, sizes up the whole thing. But there's Ian Jess doing the thing that he does so very well. Timing was excellent. Met the ball, makes it look easy. Aberdeen at this time were coasting. Here again we see it. And if you look at Ian Jess's timing, he just arrives at the right time and gets a wee break through the goalkeeper's legs. But that's what it's all about. Now this was a bit of careless. Aberdeen seemed to open up. And tremendous strike from the Italian.
Sergio.
But at that time it brings them back to life, doesn't it?
Yeah, so they just managed to get to half-time, still 2-0 up.
Right.
It's a different story, isn't it?
It's a tremendous. That gives him a real lift, because I think the Italian mentality at times, if they had gone in 2-0 down, it might have been difficult second half. But this is a disappointing one for him, because for Willie Miller and for the Aberdeen defence, because the 6s and 7s, it's not even a clean header. When the ball gets to the back post, brave enough leap by the Italian, but he doesn't get a good connection on it, nor do I think it's a striker. But I don't think this was a foul to begin with, but it looks tremendous from that angle. And that's the unfortunate thing, but the composite position there, you don't see the deflection.
You see it here, it's very clear that, and poor Frios Nelders, who probably has it covered actually, has got no chance.
So. It's a definite deflection, and that's what beats the goalkeeper. And it's really hard luck, because, as I say, I don't think it was a free kick in the first place.
No, that's right. So they lose a goal in injury time in the first half. They lose a goal virtually in injury time at the end of the game as well. What about Paatelainen? They've got 2 away goals, so they must have a chance.
I think Paatelainen will be the place to go, because the Italians, I'm not sure how they'll travel. It'll be difficult for them. And Paatelainen's got that tight atmosphere, and 1 goal will put them through.
That's right. It's going to be quite a night and a fortnight, no doubt about that. Well, let's take a look at the rest of the Cup Winners' Cup results then, to see how it went elsewhere in Europe tonight. Torino 3, Aberdeen 2, as we know. Arsenal 3, Standard Liège 0. Ian Wright with 2 and Paul Merson, the scorers, and a very good win for Arsenal. Ajax 2, Besiktas of Turkey 1. Maccabi Haifa 0, Parma 1. FC Innsbruck 1, Real Madrid 1. Benfica 3, CSKA Sofia 1. Paris Saint-Germain 4, University Craiova 0, and Panathinaikos 1, Bayer Leverkusen 4. Now, in the European Cup tonight, quite a game at Old Trafford. In fact, Arsenal haven't lost a home European game at Old Trafford for 37 years. And tonight it almost went. United, in fact, went 2 up in the first 13 minutes. Brian Robson in the 3rd, Hakan own goal in the 13th. And then 3 goals by Galatasaray of Turkey. Arif in 16, Kubilay 31 and 63 minutes. Eric Cantona saving United's blushes with just 9 minutes left. 3 each at Old Trafford. Late result there between Porto and Feyenoord. Monaco 4, Steaua Bucharest 1, Levski Sofia, Rangers Conquerors 2, Werder Bremen 2, Copenhagen 0, AC Milan 6, Sparta Prague 0, Anderlecht 1, Lech Poznan of Poland 1, Spartak Moscow 5, and Barcelona 3, FK Austria 0. Now, domestically in the B&Q Cup tonight, Meadowbank Thistle 2, Stirling Albion 0, Montrose 0, Stranraer 0, but Montrose win 6-5 in penalties, and Queen of the South 0, Dunfermline 6, 2 goals each for O'Boyle and Laying at Palmerston. And in England, the Ensley Insurance League Division 1, Millwall 2, Notts County 2, Nottingham Forest 0, Oxford United 0, and Sunderland 2, Luton Town 0.